definitely. I'm very disappointed to hear that. I suppose it will have a huge effect on farmers and on their incomes, and especially the price of cattle. And I suppose with the price of milk falling all during the back end of this year, we can see now how important that the price of calves, the price of cull cows, and the price of store cattle is going to be for both the beef farmer and the dairy farmer going forward, and especially with the price of milk down. So with this, if this is to go through, and already we have some beef coming from Brazil into the EU with high tariffs, and if these tariffs are to be lowered, we know that, and once the floodgates are opened, that a serious amount of this beef, they're talking about 99,000 tonnes, but once the gates are open, who's going to say when the 99,000 tonnes has come through? There could be any amount of beef could be coming in from Brazil. That will have a huge effect. And I suppose it's not alone, is it the price of beef and the price of, it's going to affect the price of beef and the price of, for farmers, it's going to be jobs lost, where you have people reducing back the numbers of cattle that they're going to produce here. If the price is down, they can't afford to produce the same amount, so they will cut back. And if they cut back, factories will close in Ireland, and you have so many different people involved, such as co-ops, the factories, the lorrymen going to those factories, the lorrymen taking away that meat and exporting it. So there'll be a huge detrimental effect in Ireland. But not alone is it affecting farmers, but it's going to affect every man, woman and child, because these are the consumers, these are the people that are going to be eating this product that's coming in from Brazil, which has antibiotics and hormones in. And they are saying that these hormones does cause cancer, and we know the detrimental effect that will have on people in Ireland, where you see families, we already see people coming up where it has affected a lot of families. And if it's going to affect children and people going forward, I think that everybody should be up against this. Nobody should want to see food contaminated with any of these products. We live to a very, very high standard in Ireland. There's no antibiotics, no hormones or anything like that allowed into the beef that's produced here. It's living up to a very high standard. I don't think that the people should have to be forced into eating this, and that's what they will be doing. If that's put on the shelves, you really are putting the people at risk, and I think that that's very wrong. And I think that all people should be out against this right across the whole country. And the protest is on Saturday in Athlone, and I would like to thank Eddie Punch with 6 Mile Bridge Mark, who are putting on a bus going to Athlone on Saturday for the protest. I suppose I would also like to thank Kieran Malooly and Michael Fitzmaurice, who has been at the front on this, trying to get this stopped. And Kieran Malooly has put a huge effort into it at European level to highlight the problem. So,
and Martin, sorry, if I can just come in there for a moment. People might be wondering, of course, a monster protest is planned for Athlone tomorrow, but they might be thinking, what is the point? Because this has been approved by EU member states. But I understand that there is another vote to come on this, and that will be the over 500 members of European Parliament that will have the final say.
Yes, and our MEPs will be voting on that. And I would be saying that every MEP in Ireland should be voting against it, especially when they see what the damage it will do to the consumers having contaminated product on the shelves for people to buy, and that is the danger. And that people don't know actually what they're eating, and they don't know the consequences or the detrimental effect it will have on their family eating this product that's coming in from Brazil. So I think it's so important that people come out in force and make sure that this doesn't happen, and that we are not being sold stuff that is not fit for human consumption.
And of course, the conversation for another day maybe, but France, Austria, Hungary also voting against this. Belgium did abstain, but you would get a level of opposition indicated from that. If those countries perhaps come out in force and protest, or if even they cut back in trade relations in other ways in protest of this, that could actually force the hand of other countries and other MEPs to get in league here.
Correct, and that's what we'll be hoping, and we'll be hoping that we'll get as many MEPs as possible to vote against it in the next vote, and that's what you would be hoping. And it's so our food is so important. I think it's crucial that people realise that and realise the quality of food that's been produced, and make sure that that food is available to everybody going forward. So I would call on everybody that can at all possible attend on Saturday, show the power and how important it is, and show the power that we have in this country, that we want a product, let's say, of a very high standard and not an inferior product coming into the EU.